Did you know there are secret tunnels under our feet that shape the world? It's true. Right now, deep in the earth, hidden passages and forgotten rooms hold amazing secrets. These aren't just spooky old caves, they are special places where brave people made history. Imagine crawling through a dark, narrow tunnel with only the soft sound of your own breathing to keep you company. You wouldn't know if you were heading toward freedom, leading a surprise attack, or building something that would last for thousands of years. These tunnels were lifelines, hiding spots, secret weapons. They show us that sometimes the biggest changes in the world start from a small, dark place hidden far beneath the ground. These secret worlds were built for many reasons. Are you ready to discover 5 of these incredible secret tunnels? Let's begin our journey into the earth. Our first stop is deep in the hot, steamy jungles of Vietnam. Here, during the Vietnam War in the 1960s, a giant network of tunnels was dug by soldiers called the Viet Cong. These weren't just a few short tunnels, they were like an underground city. This amazing system, called the Cu Chi tunnels, stretched for over 120 miles. From the surface, you would see nothing but trees and leaves. But hidden below were secret trapdoors, some no bigger than a dinner plate. These doors led to a whole world underground, where soldiers could disappear like ghosts, right before their enemies' eyes. It was a clever and powerful way to fight a war from below. Life inside the Cu Chi tunnels was incredibly difficult. The passages were dark, narrow, filled with insects and snakes. There was very little air, and it was always hot and damp. Yet thousands of people lived and worked down there. They built everything they needed to survive. There were underground kitchens, hospitals to care for the wounded, meeting rooms where leaders planned their next moves. Smoke from the kitchens was cleverly piped out through faraway vents that looked like termite mounds so no one would find them. The people of the tunnels became experts at living in secret, turning the earth into their greatest shield. These tunnels were a powerful weapon. The Viet Cong soldiers used them to launch surprise attacks and then vanish without a trace. They could pop up behind enemy lines, fight, and then disappear back into a hidden trapdoor before anyone knew what happened. This made them seem like ghosts in the jungle, always one step ahead. The tunnels were also a safe place to rest, store food and weapons, and hide from bombs dropping from the sky. They connected villages and fighting posts, creating a secret web that was nearly impossible for their enemies to defeat. The tunnels gave them a huge advantage in the war. The Cu Chi tunnels changed how wars were fought. They showed that a small, determined group could stand up to a much larger and more powerful army by using the land itself as a hiding place and a weapon. Today, parts of the tunnels are open for visitors. People can crawl through the same narrow passages and see what life was like for the jungle soldiers. It's a powerful reminder of how human cleverness and determination can create something truly amazing, even in the middle of a dangerous war. The tunnels are a monument to survival, hidden right beneath the jungle floor. Now, let's travel back in time to World War II, to a German prisoner of war camp called Stalag Luft III. This camp was built to hold Allied airmen who had been captured. The Germans thought the camp was escape-proof. The ground was sandy, which made digging tunnels difficult because the sand would collapse easily. The barracks were raised off the ground so guards could look underneath, but they underestimated the prisoners' determination. In 1944, a group of brave men decided they would do the impossible. They planned to dig not just 1 but 3 secret tunnels. Tom, Dick, Harry. The work was slow, dangerous, and required incredible teamwork. The prisoners had to be very sneaky. They used tin cans to make shovels and bedboards to hold up the tunnel walls. To get rid of the tons of sand they dug up, they filled long, thin bags made from socks and trousers. They would hide these bags down their pant legs, walk out into the prison yard, and slowly shake the sand out, mixing it with the surface soil. They even built a tiny underground railway with carts to move the sand more quickly. They also made an air pump out of wood, metal, and old sleeping bags to push fresh air into the long tunnel. The prisoners worked in secret for over a year. They had to be careful of the German guards, who were always watching. They set up a system of lookouts to warn the diggers if a guard was coming. The tunnel, named Harry, was finally finished in March 1944. It was over 300 feet long and 30 feet deep. On the night of the escape, the men quietly gathered, ready for their journey to freedom. Everything was planned perfectly. 76 men crawled through the cold, dark tunnel and emerged into the snowy woods beyond the camp's fence. It was one of the biggest and most daring escapes of the entire war. Although most of the escaped prisoners were recaptured, the story of the Great Escape became legendary. It was a huge embarrassment for the Germans and a powerful symbol of hope for the Allies. It showed that even when you are locked away, the human spirit cannot be caged. The teamwork, cleverness, and bravery of the men who dug Harry inspired people all over the world. Their tunnel wasn't just a path out of a prison, it was a powerful statement that they would never give up. It proved that with enough courage and ingenuity, you could dig your way to freedom, even from the most secure prison on Earth. Let's journey to America during a time before the Civil War in the 1800s. In those days, slavery was legal in the southern states. But many brave people believed it was wrong, and wanted to escape to the northern states or to Canada, where they could be free. They traveled on a secret network of safe houses and hidden routes known as the Underground Railroad. It wasn't a real railroad with trains and tracks. Instead, it was a chain of secret paths and helpers who guided escaping people on their dangerous journey. And sometimes this railroad really did go underground, through secret tunnels and hidden cellars. Many homes and farms along the Underground Railroad had secret places built to hide people. A friendly family might have a hidden room behind a bookshelf, a secret space under the floorboards, or a tunnel dug from their basement out into a nearby woods or barn. For people escaping slavery, these tunnels were a lifeline. They could hide during the day when search parties were out looking for them. In the dark of the tunnel, they were safe from harm. They would wait in the quiet darkness, listening for the signal that it was safe to continue their journey north under the cover of night. Imagine being a conductor on the Underground Railroad. You would lead people through dark woods to a house that looked perfectly ordinary, but you knew its secret. You might open a trap door in the floor of a barn, revealing a dark, narrow tunnel. You would lead the tired travelers into the earth, where they could rest and eat in safety before the next leg of their long walk to freedom. These tunnels were symbols of trust and courage. The people who built them risked their own lives and freedom to help others. They believed so strongly in liberty that they carved secret paths for it right into the ground. The tunnels of the Underground Railroad changed the world by offering a real path to freedom for thousands of people. Each person who escaped was a victory against slavery. These secret passages weren't grand or famous. They were small, dark, and humble, but they represented the very best of human kindness and the powerful desire to be free. Today, some of these historic homes and tunnels can still be visited. They stand as quiet, powerful monuments to the brave men and women who traveled and who dug the secret routes of the Underground Railroad, changing countless lives forever. Our final journey takes us far back in time, over 2,500 years ago, to the Greek island of Samos. In those ancient days, the city on the island needed fresh water. The spring was on the other side of a giant mountain. A brilliant engineer named Eupalinos had a daring idea. He decided to dig a tunnel straight through the mountain to bring the water to the city. This was an amazing feat of engineering. Remember, they didn't have modern machines or computers. They had simple tools like hammers, chisels, and their own incredible minds. The tunnel of Eupalinos is a true wonder of the ancient world. Workers dug from one side of the mountain. Workers dug from the other side of the mountain. They aimed to meet perfectly in the middle. It was an incredibly difficult challenge. If calculations were off even a little, the tunnels would miss. Eupalinos used simple geometry and careful measurements. For 10 years they chipped away at solid rock, worked by oil lamps deep inside the mountain, hoping the paths would connect. They did. The tunnels met almost perfectly in the center, a triumph of ancient Greek science and planning. The finished tunnel was over 3,000 feet long. Inside the main tunnel, a smaller slanted channel was dug, slanted slightly downhill so the water would flow naturally from the spring all the way to the city. For over 1,000 years it supplied Samos with fresh, clean water. The tunnel was hidden for centuries and only rediscovered in the 1800s. It was a secret lifeline for the ancient city. The tunnel of Eupalinos and the many ancient tunnels beneath Jerusalem show us something incredible. In Jerusalem, Hezekiah's tunnel brought water into the city and helped protect the city from enemies. These stone corridors, carved by hand, changed the world by allowing cities to grow and thrive. They prove that human innovation is not new. People have always been dreamers, builders, and problem solvers. What other secrets, carved in stone and hidden by time, are still waiting to be discovered deep beneath our feet? The world is full of hidden wonders, you just have to know where to look. From war to freedom, faith to survival, hidden tunnels have silently shaped our world. Which tunnel amazed you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more history revealed.